Welcome to Forager, a game about being a cute little guy with a pickaxe, waking up on an island with no memories, so your only option is to destroy the environment around you for your own economic gain. Even when you have it all, it's not enough. And today, I'm going to be spending 100 days in it, making structures, gaining money, and most of all, killing literally any beast that I see. But before we can do all of that, we have to start from a pickaxe and a dream. So on day one, I start gathering all the resources that I can get my greedy little hands on and making a furnace. Now this furnace is so important because basically every item in the game comes from the furnace. Even the most complex items have to start from the furnace, which really makes it the best item ever. Now after I got the furnace and I had a pretty good way to make food, I decided to unlock the economy trait, which allowed me to get 40 coins instantly. This was enough to buy my second piece of land. That was about all that happened day one, and day two I decided to solve the puzzle that I got on this new piece of land. Basically every time that you get a new piece of land, it almost always comes with a new challenge. This time the challenge was to hit these specific mushrooms in a specific order to make the rainbow light up and get a chest. Each chest requires a key that can only be made using a new thing called the Forge. The Forge is basically the crafting table of Forager. By that I mean if you want to upgrade your tools like your pickaxe or your boots, you have to go to the Forge to do that. Now after I got the key from the Forge, I unlocked the chest and got a top hat that gave me 50% more coins. Now this is amazing because early game what I've heard is that you really want to get as much land as possible. Since I'm only playing for 100 days, my time's limited and I want to make the most of the time that I have. So to make sure I spend my time well, I spent days 3 through 5 gathering resources and buying some land. My third piece of land was a pretty crappy island with a chest on it that gave me this, which, it's okay. But it's not really what I wanted. But our fourth piece of land unlocked this area with a fairy person, who said if I give them something that they'll give me the power of the fairies. Which sounds really cool, so I really want it. 1,000 coins? Yeah, we'll leave that for later. The only important thing in the next 3 pieces of land that I unlocked was the fact that one of them unlocked the museum, which is basically just where you show off items. One unlocked this new puzzle with 4 different pillars, and one island had a forging obelisk that gives me more XP whenever I farm herbs or crops. Too bad I don't have either of those. Also during this, I got a lot of upgrades, most of which are just not really necessary but quality of life things like extra damage. And I got a new pickaxe, which drops slime whenever I use it. Now what does slime do? Absolutely nothing. It's just kinda there. You can use it to upgrade items and that's about it. On day 6, I unlocked the sewing station, which... Wait, what does it even do? Sewing station. Used in crafting thread, leather, royal clothing, slime wallets, slime gloves, and slime boots, and more. What? Wait. Not even... Oh, I get it. Sorry, on day 6, I unlocked the sewing station, which is used in crafting thread, leather, and royal clothing, as well as the wallet, boots, and gloves, and all their upgrades. You can basically just think of it as the second forge. Days 6 through 9 were pretty basic. I got a bit more land, and I unlocked this little tree house where I met this little guy, and I went inside of his house, not robbing or trespassing, of course. Okay, maybe I was trespassing. And used his closet to get a top hat. This top hat outfit is what we're going to stick for with the entire time. Or will we? Okay, well now you know that we're not going to because I just showed you a blurred out image of us not sticking with it, but whatever. Just act like you didn't see that. You doing that? Are you acting like you didn't see it? Okay, good job. Unless you're not. Nah, you probably are. Anyways, on day 10, I had a vault which could store up to 4 items, which really helped because right now my inventory looks like a Discord mods room. And by that I mean it is very unorganized and I have no idea where things are. Along with doing that, I made this big discovery. You're telling me there's more to life than just making money? Absolute lie. Can't believe you would tell somebody something just so wrong, honestly. It's all money. All life is. Okay, it's not really a discovery, it's more of a statement, but this basically shows you where my mind was. Since it was day 10, I decided I want to start doing something big. So I bought a new piece of land in the desert biome. There's a few different biomes in the game. We start in the plains one, which is kind of just there, and then the sand one unlocks some new bugs and other stuff that we can use to make weapons. This is why getting new pieces of land are so important. I also started saving up for the bank because I knew if I was able to get a lot of banks early game, then they have 90 days to keep working and making me money, which like I said earlier, is all that matters. for now. And now that we completed day 10, we're officially 10% done with the challenge, and I feel like now is a good time to tell you my 3 main goals. My first one is to unlock every skill in the skill tree. There's only 64, so it shouldn't be that hard. The next is to buy every single piece of land, and while there's only 49 pieces of land, that is much harder than you would think it is. I mean, some of these pieces of land start costing up to thousands of coins, and right now I can't get 200 for the life of me. And my third, of course, is to have fun. I mean, we can already check this one off. Anyways, getting on to day 11, we start with a little sing-along. After this, I find a guy who's selling a bunch of random items. Now at the time, I don't know what any of these items do, so let's be honest, I really shouldn't buy. I bought the Kraken's Eye. Look, it was an impulsive decision. I thought it would be cool. Now the worst part about this is that I couldn't sell it because I didn't have a market, but I didn't want to just delete it, so I just had it sitting in my inventory. After that stupid decision, I spent the rest of the day fighting off monsters and gathering gold to buy land. On day 12, I started getting resources for my next pickaxe upgrade, which was the golden pickaxe. The golden pickaxe needed bottled beetles, which meant I had to get sand from a fishnet, burn that sand into glass, combine that glass with threads from the sewing machine, just to get the bottle, and then use that bottle on a beetle to get the bottled beetle. And then I also needed to get 5 of those. This is gonna be fun. Everything else for the pickaxe was really simple. All I needed was just some iron and gold. I also got the engineering upgrade at the start of the day, which boosted my industrial buildings by 25%, and I unlocked droids and EMP grenades. I also really started to have some inventory problems. But other than that, I was able to buy my second piece of land in the desert. It had a very normal reaction to it. Quests and beetles. Go, 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 go. We also met Anna Banana, who said she wanted some flowers because she can't get any in the desert, which is a lie. Here's 4 clips of me finding flowers in the desert. But after thinking that I shouldn't do the quest, I came to this conclusion. Actually, she's a princess. She's probably pretty rich. Maybe I should get some flowers. The rest of the day was just getting some resources and crafting bottles. We also got our first beetle today. To end the day, we got the management upgrade, which let us instantly send things to vaults. Problem is, we still don't have any space for vaults. Day 13, nothing other than resource grinding happened, but I did get 100 fish for whatever it's worth. I also learned that beetles will never spawn whenever you need them, because I couldn't find a single one the entire day. Luckily though, we didn't have to end the day on a bad note, because we got some slime boots which made me dodge faster, and we even gave Anna Banana her flowers, who gave me this in return. I hate animals! That's like the one thing that I hate the most in this game, actually. Oh, I can make a rare form of clothing that will make animals love you for— I hate animals! I really just hate animals, though. I don't care. I'm purposefully not gonna give you that. Anyways, before PETA cancels me, I have to finish this video. So on day 14, the boots finally finished crafting, and I went into the museum for the first time, which really wasn't anything special, but I did donate a few flowers. I also got another forge and unlocked this slime wallet, which gave me a money boost. Day 15, I ran into this Egyptian monster kind of thing that shot lasers at me, which was very rude of him. But I was able to get enough money to give to the fairy lady, who is actually apparently the keeper of fairies, but I'm going to call them fairies, so sorry. And after giving her 1,000 coins, which mind you was all I had at the time, she gave me the power of the fairies. Which, as good as it sounds, I don't even know what it does, because it says that it helps a lot, but I haven't seen it do anything. To end the day off, we got a new piece of land that has so many flowers. Anna Banana, you are a liar! Apparently there was also a sign that said this: there is a secret where flowers don't live. Wow, well that's just too bad, because everywhere I live there's flowers. I'm also glad that's the only way that it could have told me about that. Like, it couldn't have said that on every island. It had to say it on that one island specifically. So yeah, I wasn't very happy about that new piece of land, but on day 16, I realized just how much land I had. I mean, I had 12 pieces of land, so I decided to make today a cleanup day, just to tidy up the island a little bit. I was chopping trees, cutting bushes, breaking ores, and about midway through the day, I got the automation upgrade, which meant I instantly got all the crafted items from furnaces and forges, which was, of course, very helpful. Day 17, I continued the cleanup, but at the start of the day, I crafted the slime amulet, which gave me 25% more resources. I also got my third beetle. Yeah, that's right, we only have 3 out of the 5 beetles that we need for the golden pickaxe, and it's been like 3 days. so that was fun. Also, I found this merchant guy who was selling nuclear fuel. Even after the 100 days, I have no idea why he was selling this to me so early. That's like giving a cell phone with unlimited internet and battery to an uncontacted tribe in the Amazon rainforest. It just doesn't make sense. Okay, that was probably like the worst analogy ever, but anyways, I had started saving up a bunch of gold and steel, which meant I only needed some bricks to get a bank. And lucky for me, bricks only cost rocks. And you know what I've been doing the past 2 days? Mining rocks. So at the start of day 18, I made the rest of the bricks and I made our first bank. This was going to be the start of a giant economic island. Right now the bank may seem pretty slow, but once it gets buffed and there's even more banks over the 100 days, this will make us so much money. Later in the day, I leveled up again and decided to unlock the laser upgrade, which doesn't even benefit me. So yeah, past me, you're kinda stupid. At the end of day 18, I crafted a shovel which can dig up dirt to plant crops or find items, which is something that I don't ever do, so you don't have to worry about it. We also made the golden amulet, which gives us 50% more resources instead of the 25 from the slime amulet. And at the start of day 19, I found an XP glitch. You see, whenever you place a structure, you get XP for placing it. But when you break the structure, you get the same amount of resources back. Do you see where this is going? So yeah, for the rest of day 19, I basically just placed a bunch of furnaces and then broke a bunch of furnaces. It wasn't all boring though. At the end of the day, I started leveling out an area for a trade market, which let me sell and buy special items for coins, when all of a sudden, I see a beetle. And I have the greatest fumble of the century, missing the beetle completely and grabbing a bottle of water. This meant I had to sell the water, craft a new bottle, and then do all of that before the beetle disintegrated into the earth. Which does actually happen, that's how they disappear. The worst part is that it's not even that hard to grab the beetle. The last time that I fumbled this badly was when I let the Discord invite to a new SMP expire, and then get ghosted by everyone in it. That's not a lie, I'm still kinda sad about that. Anyways though, on day 20, we were able to get the market, and I spent the rest of the day trying to get the remaining gold, since it was the last thing that we needed for the pickaxe. And even though I completely fumbled that beetle, on day 21, we were finally able to get the gold pickaxe. And now I'll explain to you why I wanted it so bad. You see, upgrading your pickaxe is already really good, but it can do more. And I think the gold pickaxe specifically might be the best one. This is because not only do you do more damage, but you also get gold whenever you break stuff. That's right, you get passive money by deforesting the environment. Now that's my kind of pickaxe. I should also make it clear that just because you upgrade your slime pickaxe to the gold pickaxe doesn't mean that you won't get slime. You'll still get slime at the same rate, it just means now you can get slime and gold. Later in the day, I got the treasury upgrade to make my banks work faster when they're next to each other. I also got my second bank, and another piece of land in the desert area. This new piece of land came with a sand temple puzzle room with one of those little pyramid guys. The main theme of this area was electricity and powering on poles with little electric boxes. After about 15 minutes of stumbling around, I got 2 of the power boxes and unlocked this mini boss room where I have to fight off these little monsters, and then it was all worth it because look at what we got, the Thunder Rod! The Thunder Rod can light up those electric poles, and it can do damage, break blocks, and make structures work faster. I know, it's basically just a 3-in-1 item. After using the Thunder Rod a bit more, I was able to solve the puzzle and get the skull key to unlock this big door, and I found out this guy was here. I don't really know what his name is, but he seemed pretty chill. I'm gonna skip 30 seconds. If I just kill enough, will I just regain the health fast enough? No, I won't. Sadly, of course, I couldn't beat 50 of those little pyramid guys, so I did die and fail the dungeon, but I was able to keep everything, which meant I still had the Thunder Rod. This is when I was actually able to test out the Thunder Rod, and oh boy was I happy. I mean, I glazed this thing like it was a Krispy Kreme donut, man. It was crazy. But can you even blame me? I mean, imagine being able to chop down every single tree in one piece of land in like 5 seconds. That used to take me at least 3 minutes at a minimum. Did I mention that it can also deal damage, and it does more damage than my pickaxe? Yeah, this basically just renders my pickaxe useless now. It's too good. After having the most fun day of my life just destroying trees, I got our 3rd bank on day 22. I also got some more storage space now that I could get way more resources using the Thunder Rod. I know you're probably thinking, when will he shut up about the Thunder Rod? And all I have to say is never. No, but seriously, I'll shut up about it. On day 23, I went back to the desert dungeon and finally beat it, which gave me some thunder potions. Too bad I blocked my way out of the dungeon. I also got some royal steel from this. Royal steel is basically just normal steel, but with gemstones, which are rare ores that you can find while breaking rocks. You need all 5 different types of gemstones to make one royal steel, so finding a way to get it by fighting was really nice. Near the end of day 23, I bought another piece of land with 4 of these chests, which gave me spirit orbs. Spirit orbs let me upgrade one of my attributes. I obviously got 2 extra hearts and upgraded my energy because right now I'm not the best at fighting. After that, I got the backpack upgrade and our inventory was finally fixed for now. Day 24, I bought 6 benches, which I learned don't really do anything, so there goes 100 coins. During this, I also had a bunch of royal steel crafting since it takes a lot of time to craft and can be used in basically every upgrade in the game. I also made a factory using that royal steel and unlocked a lot of new stuff, which kinda overloaded my brain. Luckily, I was able to do what I do whenever problems happen. Put it off for later. To end off the day, I did Anna Banana's quest and got a pink bow to attract more animals. Yay, another animal upgrade, just what I needed. Couldn't have just given me coins. Day 25 was mainly just a resource gathering day, but I did buy my 4th bank and expand Money Island a lot by adding a bunch of bridges to make way for more banks. Speaking of which, later I got my 5th bank just before the day ended. On day 26, I bought a new piece of land in the snow biome and made a lighthouse, which boosted nearby structures in its range. I also made the best investment ever. I got a slot machine. Okay, I know it looks really bad, but it actually does have a pretty important use. By gambling, I can get gemstones for really cheap, which I need for royal steel and royal clothing, which are so important for upgrading that I can't stress it enough. So I basically just spent the rest of day 26 mining resources and gambling. Day 27, I went back into the desert dungeon and accidentally found a hidden room. After that, I started fighting the boss again. You want me to skip another 30 seconds? So yeah, I had to fight a few of these guys, but I got so much steel, oh my god, and I could sell all of this for money? Yes, please. I also talked to the new guy on the piece of snowland that we bought, and he wanted some questionable items. Anyways, I got 2 new pieces of land, one with a guy who wanted a gold egg, and one with another spirit orb. I obviously spent it on damage because I want to keep these pretty equal. Nah, I'm just kidding, I wanted to make the thunder rod even better. To end day 27, I got another bank. I wasn't lying when I said this is going to be an economic powerhouse. Days 28 through 29 were just resource gathering days, and by the start of day 30, I had more banks, land, and friends. I met this little goblin guy who wanted 100 boats, which I already had a lot of from killing skeletons. Later I crafted the fishing rod, which basically just did what fish nets do, but manually, and since I had like 20 fish nets, there was no point in getting it, but I thought I might as well. At the end of day 30, I got enough bones to give to that goblin guy, who gave me the skull key. The skull key automatically opens all chests without needing a key, which is so nice because having to run back and craft a key every time I get a big chest is really annoying. I started day 31 with a rude awakening from this new snow creature that was kinda similar to the desert guys now that I think about it. I also doubled the amount of furnaces that I had to keep up with our needs. I spent the rest of my time resource gathering until day 32 when I expanded Money Island a little bit and bought a new piece of land. This new piece of land came with a crafting obelisk that gave me more XP whenever I crafted. After that, I got the colonization upgrade, which made land 30% cheaper. On day 33, nothing really important happened other than just some resource gathering and maybe crafting some more coins for land. If you couldn't tell, this game requires a lot of grinding. But on day 34, I crafted the slime sword, which, it does some damage, but I still feel like the thunder rod's better, and the mallet, which let me repair some of my structures. There's only 2 times I would ever need to use the mallet. One, when a skeleton or zombie damages my structure, or if I were to hypothetically miss a slime and then hit my own bridges. Which, yeah, that happens really often. And now that we're about a third of the way through the video, I feel like it's a good time to remind you about hitting the like and subscribe button. It would seriously mean the world to me and help me push my video to others for them to enjoy. Or you can dislike it if you want, I won't judge, I'll just be very sad. Anyways, now that I'm sure you've liked and subscribed, I bought a new piece of land in the desert with just this pillar that I could turn on with my thunder rod to get some coins and some gemstones. Just before the day ended, I bought a new piece of land on day 35. I explored it and destroyed these bones, which spawned some little mini bosses, but it's just too bad that they couldn't stand against the thunder rod. Luckily though, they did drop some spirit orbs, which was very nice of them. I used both of the spirit orbs to get some more damage, which post-production here was absolutely horrible. It only increases the damage by 0.25, and each pickaxe upgrade adds 0.5 damage. But I'm sure I'll learn that later, right? Also, Money Island update, we officially have 10 banks to get our money constantly. I spent the rest of the time that I had in sunlight to get some materials, and by night I crafted the skull pickaxe, which finished just before sunrise. This pickaxe dealt some extra damage to bosses, which I didn't really have to fight any of up until now, but it was pretty nice, and it did some more damage. And by the end of the day, I was able to get another pickaxe upgrade, which made everything have a chance to drop gemstones. Very nice, because I need gemstones. Day 37 started with some very satisfying mining, which is basically all I did the entire day, but I did make some progress on the bundles in the museum. Each bundle needs a certain amount of items, or a very rare item, from that category. For example, the foraging bundle needs flowers and beets, while the mining bundle needs gold, iron, and coal. These aren't the exact examples, but you can get the basic idea. Also, a bit ago, when we bought this land, it came with the lumberjacking obelisk, which gives us more XP when we chop down a tree. I skipped over this because it only counts when we mine a tree with a pickaxe, which is much slower than the thunder rod, but I felt like I should still tell y'all what this is. To start the next day, I found this new puzzle room in the temple, which I found the answer to. Thank you, Forager guides on YouTube, you're goated. The real way to find this puzzle was above the doorway, which I never would have found, so seriously, big shout out to Forager guides. After powering on the right lights, we got 4 mini chests and 1 big chest, which gave us a bunch of coins and gemstones, plus the ancient galaxy seal. The seals don't do anything, but they kind of just show that you did the puzzle, which is kind of ironic because I didn't do the puzzle, so Forager guides, if you're watching, I will gladly hand over all my seals if you can find a way. Also, thank you for watching. We also got another spirit orb from this. After all that, we got the supply upgrade from the skill tree, which reduced some of the market prices and made the markets reload faster. This was our 30th upgrade out of 64, so we're making pretty good progress on the skill tree. One thing I've been trying to do for the past bit is pet as many chickens as I can to get a golden egg for the old man. And luckily, on day 38, I was able to get the golden egg and give it to him, which gave me the skeleton mask, which meant basic skeletons do not attack me at all. This is amazing because it means I don't have to worry about the little guys at night. Later, I found another wandering merchant and bought a pair of spirit orbs from him. At the end of day 38, I got an oil rig which could make bottled oil, which I really need for the factory. Yeah, you guys remember the factory? The thing that we bought on day 24 and haven't used since then? Well, we can finally start using it. Day 39, I added a bunch more bridges to expand my walking space and 3 more sewing machines. After that, I kinda just sat around for the rest of the day while I made royal clothing and bottled oil. On a side note, later I crafted the repair kit, which later I learned could repair damaged buildings. Too bad I already have the auto repair upgrade, which makes that useless. The wandering trader did come back, but he only had items that I didn't know about, so he's not gonna get any money. And I know right now it might not seem it, but from days 15 to 30, while we had the factory and weren't using it, we lost a lot of time. Near the end of day 40, I unlocked a new piece of land in this Diome what? In the Dim... Ooh, okay, wait. In this demon biome area, hey, I got it, which was going to change the entire course of the 100 days. Before interacting with this thing in the middle, I killed the little guy who dropped a little demon horn, so I assume he's a demon. But after that, I discovered that the little thing in the middle was a boon table. You could essentially sacrifice a heart for a boon, and then get upgrades for it. I went crazy for boons. I spent basically all my hearts, and got a lot more things from it, including skill points for the skill tree, gemstones, and even permanent damage upgrade. And although all this sounds good, I left a broken man with only a few hearts to my name, and my only way to get them back through spirit orbs. Thus started the great quest for hearts. To get hearts in Forager, you need spirit orbs, and to get spirit orbs, you can do a few things. You can unlock a new piece of land and hope that there's a challenge that doesn't take over 7 days to complete to get 1 or 2 spirit orbs, or you can fight bosses to get a guaranteed 4 spirit orbs. The obvious answer is to go for the bosses, so that's what I did. You know, I actually made a smart decision for once. And although this was still years faster than trying to unlock more land, there was actually one problem. See, if you recall a minute ago, I said, and although all this sounds good, I left a broken man with only a few hearts to my name, and my only way to get them back through spirit orbs. Thus, yeah, I still only had 1 heart and I had to fight a boss. And I was thinking maybe if I bought a piece of land to get a few more hearts, then I could fight a boss with 3 or 4 hearts. Yeah, that didn't really happen. I bought this new little piece of land on day 42, and although there was a funny gesture with some cool trivia, it didn't really give me anything, other than a lantern. The lantern actually is really helpful. It's just a quality of life thing, it lets me see more, blah blah blah. But after this I realized I was just gonna have to fight a boss on 1 heart, because I couldn't keep waiting for land to give me hearts. Now until day 46 I was just looking for a merchant to sell me a sigil, since it's the only way to summon a boss right now. And of course in the background I was making royal steel and plastic and a bunch of other stuff, but the main focus was still on boss fights. And on day 45 I started placing a bunch of markets and breaking them until I got what I needed. Later I found the slime sigil and realized I was dead broke. I had 100 coins and it costed 5,000. So I sold everything that I had, cashed in my allowance, and then finally bought the slime sigil. Now I used it. This was gonna be my great moment. This is gonna show the warrior I can be, to show how great I can. I died. Now before you panic, I have multiple lives and I was able to kill him after a grueling battle. I mean, look at this. No, this isn't even sped up. He moves that fast and he one-taps me every time he lands. But eventually I was able to kill him, get 4 spirit orbs, and oh my god, was it good to not get one-tapped by those little running guys. It was amazing. Now even though we had gotten back to about where we were before, I still wanted to get even more hearts so that we could use the boon table and level up really fast. So days 46 were spent collecting bank money, gathering resources, and trying to craft more royal steel for new items. One nice thing that helped during our quest for more hearts was on day 46 when I finished the mining bundle in the museum and got another spirit orb, which I obviously spent on hearts. Is that even a question? Day 46 was a very productive day because after the museum donations, I made a table that allowed me to make a bunch of different sigils instead of having to buy them off of traders. And I would say this is better, but buying them off of traders is like 10 times faster, so there's not really a point in doing this. Also, you may have noticed this little floating guy around me. It's called a droid. He basically just attacks enemies for me and picks up items when I'm too lazy to grab them. Finally, we're getting closer to the dream that all Forager players have, to not play the game. Up until day 50, not much happened. I bought some more land and I was passively making some money, but it wasn't really that eventful, until at the start of day 50, when I summoned the slime boss to celebrate making it halfway through the 100 days. I'm just gonna put this boss fight in 10 times speed and let you guys enjoy how long these take. After like a 5-minute fight, we killed him and got 4 more spirit orbs. I would say this is a really great way to start the second half of the 100 days. From here on out, our progress is really going to get a lot faster and be better. Also, we officially got to 10 max hearts, and we can begin our new arc, the capitalist arc, or as I like to call it, the American arc, starting with the Void Portal. You guys think you understand the island we're on? Well, get ready to go on a trip to a new dimension. Here, there's a bunch of ores and enemies to fight for waves going on to infinity, with some people even getting into the millions of rounds. Don't worry though, we're not going to get that far into it. To start off, I just killed some of the enemies and explored the different floors. FYI, these aren't really called floors, but I'm going to call them floors just because it's easier, so sorry. One great thing about this new dimension is that since there's so many ores, we can progress way faster without having to worry about running out of gold, coal, or iron. Another benefit is that we can find very valuable resources and make this place a money machine. But I'll get into that later. For now, I just got to level 6 and got off for the day. No, I didn't record up to day 51 in one sitting, but I have to mention it because when you're in the void dimension and then you leave the game, it kicks you out of the void dimension and you lose all your progress. So we'll have to restart that later. After I got back from the void dimension, I bought a new type of sigil called the toxic sigil. I instantly summoned the boss, who was this big robot guy, and I know you guys thought that the slime boss took a while, but wait till you get a load of this guy. I wish I was joking when I say it took up the rest of day 51 to kill it, but I'm not. It really did. But of course it was all worth it. Before I cashed in my spirit orbs, I reorganized my storage because it was a hot mess, and got 2 more spirit orbs from the skill tree. I also made the spirit orb, which let me upgrade my lightning rod, make void steel, cosmic steel, and spirit orbs. It also let me make great skulls, but they're so useless it doesn't even matter. Anyways, later I went to the boon table to finally spend my boons when this cow tried to stop me. Too bad he can't stop 15 pounds of gold to his head. Finally, the boons. Sweet, sweet boons. I only spent 4 hearts. That's right, I learned from my mistakes. But definitely got a bit of stuff. This was going to be the only way that I could get every single skill tree. No cow's going to stop me from doing that. Day 53 was great. I started by fighting the slime boss again, killed him again, and then got 4 more hearts. And then I got a bunch more boons before going into the void dimension to start day 54. Days 54 through 57 were spent in the void dimension making bank. Every 5 floors we get a big chest and we get a bunch of rare items. Not only are those rare items needed to upgrade our tools, but we can sell them for bank. Yes, I said bank twice. I should really find a different word and expand my vocabulary, but whatever, it's fine. You guys can't be judging me. Half of you are probably asleep right now. Now, even though I could use these items to upgrade my tools, I'm not at that point yet, so it makes more sense for me to sell them for a bunch of money. We sadly ran out of time to kill all the enemies on floor 14, which forced us to go back home on day 57, ending our run, but we made a lot of money. On day 58, I summoned the Skeleton King, who was an absolute menace and took half the day to kill. We also took a break to tend to the rest of our land and clear it up. After that, I bought a bunch of land since we had so much money from the Void Dimension, and I mean we had a lot of money, like $30,000 money. And we spent about, I don't know, like 25,000 of that on land. That's right, we're rich. I spent the rest of day 58 and all of day 59 looking at the new land that we bought and seeing if there were some new puzzles that I could do. There was one puzzle that I needed gemstones for, there was one puzzle that I needed to place certain items on, there was the Skull Gallery. We don't talk about him. And this one little pedestal where I had to put a glowing flower. To end the day, we bought another drone from the market to help chop trees and attack enemies. There's also a slight chance that I spent half my hearts on more boons to get XP. Yeah, I really have to stop spending this many hearts, I'm gonna run out soon. By this point in the run, I had so many droids that I couldn't even keep count of them. Okay, that's a lie, I had like 7, but you get the idea. And a lot of the bosses were starting to get way too easy. So, on day 60, there was only one thing left to do. Go back into the Void Dimension and get the rest of the money to buy all the land! Okay, we got to 4-6 and then I left because I got bored, but I did fight a new boss, the Beat Boss. He didn't even stand a chance. I probably defeated him before I could even finish this sentence, to be honest. Now that we did all of that and we have all these hearts, on day 61, I went back to the boon table and got the final boon for XP levels. I only had 3 hearts, but I was going to max out the skill tree one way or another. And with one final click, the skill tree was finished. One of the 3 main goals for these 100 days completed on day 61, not even 2/3 of the way through these 100 days. I also started crafting my first bow or whatever, not that important. Now at this point, you guys may think that the great quest for hearts is done. We're done using the boon table, we've gotten every single skill tree, but you'd be mistaken. We still only have 2 hearts. That's only 1 more than when we started the great quest for hearts. So, at the end of day 61, I killed another slime boss, and started the Great Quest for Hearts, Part 2. Now this is kinda anticlimactic because on day 62 I lost all the footage, but on day 63 I made golden boots and a golden wallet for boosted speed, dodge chance, and more money. My plan to get hearts was to make as much money as possible in the Void Dimension and then come back to buy a bunch of sigils to summon more bosses for more hearts. So on day 63 I went into the Void Dimension and didn't leave until day 65 when I finally came back and sold all my stuff for 100,000 coins. I told you we were going to make that dimension a money machine. First thing I did when I got back was try to buy as much land as possible. I didn't think that we could get all the land with 100,000, but we got pretty close. We only have like a few more pieces of land to buy after this. After having a money spree, I found this one puzzle that had 12 pillars, and every few pieces of land or so, I would find some numbers that had the same arrangement of the pillars. So after going to a bunch of different islands and writing down the numbers on Microsoft Paint, I finished the puzzle and got the quiver, which meant I had unlimited arrows. Very worth buying 40 pieces of land for. I don't even use the bow, so it doesn't help me. I also found another puzzle similar to the Egyptian one where we had to turn on all those lights, and we had to turn all of them on at once, which turned out to be a lot harder than I thought. So I did what I do whenever a puzzle requires more than one brain cell. Wait, did you think I was actually going to use Forager guides again? No, I brute forced that until I eventually got it. Yeah, it took all of day 65, but we unlocked the fire seal and some gemstones on day 66. I spent a big part of day 66 destroying Money Island, since although it did make good money, I could make 50 banks money in 5 floors in the void dimension, so they were just taking up space. Instead of having banks there, I moved all my storage there. To start the next day, I was getting kind of annoyed with how many droids I had, and they were taking up a lot of space on my screen, so I built a bunch of furnaces and then set each droid to sit at the furnace. I spent the rest of the day placing bridges to make every square of the island walkable, and finally finished it on day 68. On day 69, I started placing a mining rod, and my plan was to make every island fully automatic with mining rods constantly destroying new resources, but I soon realized 1, just how long that would take, and 2, how inconvenient having mining rods every 5 tiles would be. So I decided to not do it. Instead, I decided to look into new buildings that I had skipped over before, starting with the masonry table. After learning that I could build floors, I had an idea. But before I could start my idea, I placed a bunch of quarries to get resources and used the mining rod there instead. After that, I made a bunch of furnaces and masonry tables to craft walls and floors. I decided it was about time that I started saving some resources to make a house. But before that, something amazing happened. I purchased every single piece of land. That means my 3 goals were done. Nothing left to do, right? Well, that's what I would say if I didn't make myself a new challenge. You see, once I learned that you could craft things with the masonry table, I made it my new goal to make the island actually look nice. What good was having all the land and power if it looked like garbage? So that's what I focused on. But before that, I had a celebratory fight with the beat boss again. Apparently, he wasn't as bad as I remembered, and I actually had to get out my droids again. Eventually, we ended up killing him, and me and my droids destroyed some resources to celebrate. Keeping the boss momentum going, on day 72, I fought the robot boss again. I had to get my droids again. We eventually killed him, but I realized that fighting bosses was taking way too long, and I needed a better way. So, later in the day, I made Boss Fight Island. I know, I'm amazing at names. It was an island with as many ballistas as the US military. This island was going to be where we fight bosses from now on. Also, we got to the max amount of hearts, 18 in total. On day 73, I destroyed the masonry table and furnaces since they were done crafting. And the next day, I started building our new house. Here's a little time lapse of me building it. I decided to make the floors brick and have stone walls since they both just needed stone, and I have to admit, it doesn't even look that bad. After building the house, I decided to watch some Markiplier in the background because I wanted to record, but also watch the new video. So I had to compromise. Here's a little look into how I was playing.
Fascinating. It's kind of clever. I kind of like it. I kind of like it a lot. I'm just a little too dull.
Day 75, I was still listening, and listening, and listening.
Actually, see you around. I'll see you guys around. I'll see you around. See you around, guys. See you around. I'll see you around, guys. I'll see you around. I ain't turning around for nothing.
Okay, yeah, I've been listening for a while, but now that it was day 75, we were officially 3/4 of the way done. Hooray! I started crafting a new sigil to test out Boss Fight Island and made 104 sushi? Oh my god, I guess I was really hungry. Not much happened the rest of the day, I kinda just sat around and made a lighthouse. I guess I needed the sushi to craft faster. On day 77, I summoned the Skeleton King in Boss Fight Island, and remind you, this is one of the hardest bosses. I'm just gonna let the fight play out. I mean, look at him, he's running away. After I killed the boss, I already had everything else maxed out, so I just increased my damage. But before I spent my final spirit orb, I had an idea. You see, every damage upgrade that you get using the spirit orb is only 1/4 of a damage upgrade. But in the boon table, you can get a permanent 1 whole damage. So if I just used the boon table and got 1 permanent damage, then I could just use the spirit orb to get that heart back, thus giving me 0.75 more damage. I know, pretty genius, right? Later in the day, I made another factory since only 2 wasn't going to be enough for this production. Before the day ended, I fought another boss on Boss Fight Island. Wow, that's a mouthful. And I'm very proud to say that we killed him with no trouble. Afterwards, I went back to the boon table, got 4 more boons, and then used those 4 spirit orbs to get my hearts back. This idea was really paying off. The rest of day 77 was just spent clearing some space up. Still have to do some boring chores. On day 78, I finished this skeleton maze and got the skull seal. Day 78, I fully embraced the markification and just AFK'd for the rest of the day. Day 79, we were back up and oh, never mind, we're watching Markiplier again. Okay, day 80, we were back up and running. For the most part, day 80 was just a resource gathering day, but I did finish the alchemy bundle, so there's something. To start day 81, I entered the void dimension because I felt too broke for someone who owned an entire island and multiple powerhouses. On day 83, I was able to get all the way to floor 16 before I left. Nothing really happened the rest of the day other than some routine chores like chopping down some trees. Throughout these 100 days, I've been trying to upgrade my gear and make it as good as it can be, but I haven't really updated you guys on it. After the gold pickaxe, every upgrade was just a small task and didn't really add that much other than a little bit more damage. But from now on, that's going to change a little bit. You see, now we're getting to the end game where everything costs a lot more to make, and we're at the void sword. It needs a lot of void steel, which is a very valuable and time-consuming resource, so I decided to start trying to get some of it in the background. Before that though, I wanted to upgrade my shovel. Although I was trying to get the resources, there was only so much that I could do right now, so I decided to get some animal lore and make a bunch more masonry tables to make fences. If you couldn't tell already, I was trying to make an animal pen. You see, I still had the quest that needed 500 fertilizer, and the only way to get that is from waiting around animals. So, the sooner I could set up a farm, the better. Before the end of the day, I was able to make the animal farm and get a few animals in it. Day 85, I just AFK'd at the animal farm and waited for more animals to come. Day 86, I was a little bit more active, starting the day by making golden gloves and a big backpack. I was making these in preparation for going into the void dimension. Today was a big day for crafting because we also made the demon pickaxe, nomad shovel, and skull gloves. I later realized how close I was to finishing a lot of the bundles in the museum, so I focused on getting some milk for the bundles. By the end of the day, I was able to finish the farming and foraging bundles. So overall, today was great. I had also been focusing on the food bundle and got almost half of everything that we needed for it. On day 87, I started by getting another backpack upgrade, which was really going to help benefit us in the void dimension. I also added 2 more items to the trapping bundle. Now I only needed 5 more bugs on the normal island to finish the bundle. Day 88, I finished the trapping bundle, and the next day I started cooking for some of the things in the cooking bundle. That's when I made the flower press and discovered landfills. You see, landfills are basically like bridges but permanent. They look much nicer, and they're basically just an addition to the island. Now there's only one problem. You need fertilizer. The one thing you need for them is fertilizer. You think I care about void steel? You think I care about however powerful items I have? You think I care about having No, I just want some animal Although I was on the verge of crashing out, it was a good discovery nonetheless, even if I was finding out about it way too late. To ease my mind, I fought 3 of the robot bosses at the same time and destroyed them. Afterwards, I finished the cooking bundle and the building bundle, which left us with 1 bundle left, the archaeology bundle. I've always hated archaeology, and having to do a bundle for it was not really what I wanted to do, so I didn't. Half the things required me to dig for hours straight just to find a golden dog head, and I really wasn't going to stress over it. I spent the rest of the day just doing some chores and breaking rocks. We're officially in the last 10 days, and even though there are so many things that we're discovering and learning about, I don't think we'll have time to do all of them. So if you guys want to see a 200 days video, please like and subscribe. It would mean the world. Anyways, on day 90, I started making some railroads and hoped that I could make a train track, but I realized that you can't place them on bridges. But you know what you can place them on? That's right, we need more landfills. And on day 90, I placed my first landfill, and wow, it actually looks really good. I basically just spent the rest of the day making a funny little train track, and I did find 30 landfill in the market, which was a nice little surprise. I also had this super satisfying moment where I placed a bunch at once. On day 91, I decided to see how far I could get into the void dimension, and on day 94, we were able to get all the way up to floor 20 before I left. Day 95 was pretty boring. I just summoned a few robot bosses and killed them pretty fast, to be honest. To start day 96, I made enough cosmic steel to give to this guy, who gave me the magic scepter. This made us get every artifact in the game, which I didn't even know was an achievement, but yay! Is this a good time to mention that I went back into the Void Dimension to get $1.2 million? Yeah, we're rich. Again. To finish day 96, though, I wanted to finish this ice puzzle. This time we're using Trophy Tom. I couldn't find Forager guides, I'm so sorry. Day 97, I didn't know what to do. I didn't have anything super close to finishing, but I didn't want to start any new tasks this late. Which put me in a really weird position, but I decided to just sell everything, because money's nice. Do you guys remember at the start of the video when I told you that we would get a new outfit eventually? Well, you shouldn't, because I told you to forget that, but today is the day that we get a new outfit. On days 98 through 99, I looked through a bunch of different types of outfits before finally deciding on this one. A kind of pure angelic outfit to match everything that I've done on this world, besides tearing down like all the territory and making it all industrialized, but whatever. I spent the rest of the day organizing my inventory to be color-coded because I thought it would look pretty, and honestly, it looks pretty good. And before I even knew it, it was day 100. Playing this game for 100 days and seeing how much we had built and what we had accomplished was a really sweet but sour feeling. On one hand, I had so much to look at and be happy with, but on the other half, I knew it was all going to come to an end soon. But I decided that for the last part of the day, I'm going to show you guys uncut footage. I feel like I haven't given you guys enough time to really just be down to earth. So from now on, no more fast edits or stimulating over chatter. Just peace through the last day of this amazing challenge. As the sun rose on day 100, I reminisced on how all of this started from just one tiny piece of land, some bushes and trees. And at the end of the 100 days, I felt content. And I'm very proud to say that was 100 days in Forager. Thank you for watching. If you've made it this far, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. If you want to see more videos like this, please like and subscribe. And who knows, maybe you guys will get a 200 days. Anyways, till next time. Bye.